Yoga is the connection of mind, body, and spirit. When we take time for ourselves, we're better able to show up in our day-to-day lives, knowing that the tools we need are always within us, using our breath and our body as our guide. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's practice. My name is Brittany, and I'll be guiding you today. For our theme and focus, we'll be looking at balancing, and this might mean physically in our body as well as mentally. For practice, it'll mostly be focusing on physically, but you might notice throughout our practice how this translates mentally and through the rest of our day. So let's get started lying on our backs. And we'll come with our feet to the outer edges of our mat. Bringing either the palms to rest on top of the belly and one over top of the heart, or option for the arms to come alongside the body, palms facing up. Taking this moment to arrive here in your space. Maybe just noticing all the noises happening around you. And beginning to tune them out. And see if we can observe our physical body. What sensations are already present? And this might feel like a numbness or tingling, areas of tension or ease. And just being mindful of them as we move through our practice today. Starting to observe our breath. Simply whether you're breathing in through the nose or the mouth. And on your next inhale, feeling the chest, the ribs, and the belly begin to expand. And on the exhale, as the navel draws in towards the spine, and the ribs begin to knit together. Maybe even feeling a soft or subtle breath on top of the lip or chin. And observing the quality of our breath. And I invite you for our practice to move at your own natural rhythm and pace. With that being said, we'll start to find some movement, wiggling out through the toes and the fingers, circling out through the wrists and the ankles, maybe even nodding the head from side to side. And then on the inhale, we'll reach the arms up and overhead. The legs will draw together, pointing towards the top of your space. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, letting that go. On an inhale, we'll draw one knee in towards the chest and then the other. Option to catch for behind the thighs or the tops of the shins, whichever is more accessible today. And we'll start to circle out the knees by drawing them over towards one side of our mat, away from the body, over towards the other side of our mat. And checking in with any sensation coming up through the low back. And then we'll reverse the direction. And then the knees will come back through to center. We'll interlace the fingers over top of our left shin. And on the inhale, extend our right heel up towards the sky. On the exhale, we'll lower the right heel all the way down to our mat, rooting through the back of the heel, the back of the knee. And on the inhale, feel the belly expand towards our left thigh. On the exhale, maybe the knee draws in just a little bit closer. And if we find that our right heel doesn't quite reach our mat, that's okay. We'll bend through the right knee, planting the right sole of the foot down onto our mat, meeting our body where it is. And take another inhale. And on the exhale, draw the left knee over towards the left side of your mat and then hug it up towards the armpit. Option here to bring the right palm to rest on top of the right hip. And just observing what sensation comes up here. Next, inhale, drawing the left knee in towards the chest. And on the exhale, release the left sole of the foot down onto the mat. Inhale to draw the right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers over top of our right shin. And then option to keep the left sole of the foot planted here. Or inhale to extend and reach it up towards the sky. Exhale, our left heel will draw down towards our mat, rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. Inhale, feeling the belly expand towards our right thigh. And exhale, maybe the knee draws in just a little bit closer. Inhale, we'll draw the right knee over towards the right side of our space, and the left palm might come to rest on top of the left hip. Inhale to draw the right knee back in towards the chest, and this time we'll hug the left knee in to meet the right. And then option to rock along the spine if this feels comfortable in the body, or rocking onto the side of your body, supporting yourself up into a comfortable seat. And we'll meet at the top of our mat, rooting through our sit bones, stacking the pelvis with the ribs, and then softening the shoulders away from the ears. Feeling this length from the tailbone all the way through to the crown of the head. We'll take an inhale, reach the arms out and up towards the sky. And on the exhale, the palms will face down towards our mat as we trace the front line of our body. Inhale to reach out and up. And exhaling down. Moving with our breath. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up. And on the exhale, our left palm is going to plant beside our left hip, reaching the right fingertips up towards the sky. And on the exhale, bending over towards our left. Feeling the stretch through the right side of the ribs. And then inhale, we'll come back up towards center. And on the exhale, planting the right palm down onto the mat, reaching up through the left fingertips. And on the exhale, bending over towards the right. Observing the sensation through the left side of the body. And then inhale, arms will reach back up towards the sky. On the exhale, we'll plant the palms in front of the body, fingers spread wide. Rooting through the knuckle pads of the fingers, we'll stack our wrists with our shoulders and the knees underneath our hips. So we'll come into our first tabletop position of our practice. And taking a moment just to check in here how our wrists are feeling. We're rooting through the index finger and the thumb as we draw the elbows in towards one another. If the knees are feeling sensitive today, we can tuck under the toes or option to bring a towel or a blanket underneath the knees. And then we'll just check in here. On our inhale, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly towards our mat as the chin and chest lift. And then on the exhale, round through the tailbone, round through the spine, maybe taking the gaze back towards the knees. Inhale, tailbone tucks, belly draws down, chin and chest to lift. And exhale around. Moving with our breath. Next inhale, we'll come through to a neutral spine. And then on the exhale, extend the left heel towards the back of your space, tucking the toes underneath. Begin to engage through the glutes. Observe if you're leaning over towards the right and see if we can keep ourselves stable through center. Being mindful of the sensations coming up through the left wrist. Option here to extend the right arm in line with the ear. Feeling this line of energy here. Always option to bring the right palm down onto the mat. We'll take an inhale. And on the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, around through the spine. Connect the right palm to the left knee. And then inhale to extend. Exhale to draw it in. Moving with your breath. Next inhale, we'll extend. And on the exhale, plant the right palm down onto the mat. Left knee stacks back underneath the hips. We'll take an inhale here. And then on the exhale, extending the right heel back, tuck the toes underneath, engage through the glutes. Being mindful of a wrist, and then option to extend the left arm in line with the ear. We'll take that inhale. And then exhale, rounding in. Moving with your breath. Last one, inhale to extend. And on the exhale, plant the left palm down onto the mat. Right knee stacks underneath the right hip. We'll tuck the toes underneath, and on the inhale, begin to reach the sit bones up, pressing the thighs back. We're finding our first downward facing dog of our practice and taking our time to settle in here. Feet are about hip distance apart, rooting through the index finger and the thumb. And then maybe we begin to pedal out through the feet, coming up onto the tippy tops of the toes, bending through the knees, finding any movement here that feels particularly good in the body. And then option here, maybe we bend through the knees so that we can find that length through the spine. And then on an inhale, reach the left leg up and back. On the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, round through the spine, plant the foot between the palms, and lower the right knee down. On the inhale, we'll reach the arms up, stacking our left ankle and knee. And then imagine that we're drawing the left hip in towards our left hip crease as the right hip draws forward. So taking this moment here to feel really stable through the feet, maybe keeping the right toes tucked underneath. We'll take that inhale. And then on the exhale, take the left index finger and thumb around the right wrist. Begin to draw the arm up towards the sky, and on the exhale, bending over towards the left. Feeling the stretch through the right side of the body. Inhale, arms come back up towards center. And then on the exhale, palms plant down onto the mat, frame the left foot, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. We'll step the right foot all the way up to meet the left. On the inhale, palms to come to shins or thighs, halfway lift, neutral spine. And on the exhale, soft bend of the knees as we fold forward. Inhale to rise up, reaching up. And then exhale, palms together at heart center. We might find this gentle rock forward and back. Maybe a little bit side to side as we begin to feel really grounded and rooted through our feet. Coming back to this point of stillness, we'll bend through the knees, reach the sit bones back. Taking an inhale here, feeling the glutes begin to engage, that length from the tailbone all the way through to the crown of the head. And then on the exhale, ground through the left foot as we bring the right knee in towards the chest. Option to keep the hands on the hips. Maybe the toes stay down on the mat, that's okay. Finding where our balance and stability is here. We'll take an inhale and an exhale. And then inhale, we'll root our right foot down, bend through the knees, bring the sit bones back. And then on the exhale, we're lifting our left knee. So finding this movement a little bit from side to side. Maybe we simply keep the hands on the hips as we shift from one side to the other, observing how our body feels here. Maybe we're feeling a little wobbly, and that's okay. Maybe finding a point of focus for stability. And then we'll bring our right sole of the foot back down, grounding through both the feet. On the inhale, rise up, reach up. And then on the exhale, hinge from the hips, bend through the knees. We'll fold forward, palms will come down to the mat. Option here to walk or step to the back of your space, taking an inhale through plank. And on the exhale, bend through the knees. We'll bring them down onto the mat, lowering all the way down. Tops of the feet to root down. And on the inhale, chin and chest to lift. Exhale, forehead comes down to the mat. And then inhale, tuck the toes, press up through hands and knees, and then lift the knees away from the mat. As we exhale, bring the sit bones up, press the thighs back. We're finding our next downward facing dog. And observing if this time it feels a little different. Maybe we're finding some of that movement. And just checking in. What sensations are coming up here? We'll come back through to neutral, and on the inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Plant the foot between the palms, lower the left knee down. And on the inhale, we're sweeping the arms up towards the sky. Option to keep the left toes tucked underneath for more stability, or maybe we bring the top of the left foot down onto the mat. We're drawing our right hip in as our left hip draws forward. Arms to reach up towards the sky. On the exhale, we'll take our right index finger and thumb around the left wrist, gently guiding it up and overhead. Feeling the stretch through the left side of the body. And then inhale, arms reach back up. On the exhale, palms to plant down onto the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. We'll step the left foot all the way up to meet the right. On our inhale, palms to shins or thighs, halfway lift. And then exhale to fold. Inhale, palms to shins or thighs, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Inhale to rise up, reaching up. Exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, we'll bend through the knees, reaching the sit bones back, finding ourselves back in our chair pose. Checking in here. We'll take an inhale and an exhale. Maybe feeling the legs fire up, feeling really stable through the feet. Then we'll take an inhale. On the exhale, ground through the left foot as we bring the right knee in towards the chest. Inhale to plant the right foot back down, shift the sit bones back, and then exhale, left knee in towards the chest. So we're finding that back and forth, and this time option to add on the arms. So arms will come beside the body as we come down into our chair, and then on the exhale, maybe the arms reach up. Checking in if this changes our balance and our stability, and that's okay. Just checking in here with how this is feeling. Finding that fluidity with our movement and our breath. And then we'll come back to our chair pose. Feet are about hip distance apart. Just checking in here as we bend through the knees, reaching the sit bones back, taking an inhale. And then on the exhale, grounding through the right foot as we draw the left knee in towards the chest. Hands can stay on the hips here, finding that point of focus. And then option on the inhale, we open our left knee up towards the left side. Exhale to draw it back in. And then moving with your breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Next inhale, we'll open through our left knee, and then slowly our left sole of the foot will either come down to the mat, the toes to balance us out here, depending on how this feels through the body. Micro bending through the right knee. Maybe our foot plants to our calf. Maybe our knee travels up to our thigh, finding where our foot naturally wants to fall. And then we're going to press our right hip in, finding that length through our leg, feeling that length through our core space, and then option to reach the arms up. So finding our tree pose here, finding that point of focus, knowing that it's okay if we fall out of this pose. Maybe our balance is a little off on this side, and that's okay. checking in that we're still breathing. And then we'll take an inhale, bring our left sole of the foot back down onto the mat, bend through the knees and reach the sit bones back. Stabilizing through our breath, checking in with our body here. And then we're grounding through our left foot as we exhale, right knee draws in towards the chest. Hands can come onto the hips or stay at heart center. And then we'll inhale, opening our right leg up, and exhale, drawing it back in. Maybe we balance a lot better on this side, and that's okay. Maybe just observing that difference. And then next time that we open up over towards the right, we'll take our right sole of the foot to plant down onto our leg where it naturally wants to fall. Maybe we keep the toes on the mat for that balance. Feeling that line of energy from our left foot all the way through to the crown of the head. Hands can stay on hips. Maybe we bring them to heart center, or option on our inhale to open the arms up into our tree. Saving enough energy to come out of this pose. Trusting in our body. We'll take another inhale. And then on the exhale, we'll plant our right sole of the foot back down onto the mat. Reach the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, we'll fold forward. Finding a generous bend through our knees as we bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Catching for opposite elbows and rocking from side to side. Letting that go. Just observing how our body feels. And then on the inhale, we'll plant our palms to our shins, halfway lift neutral spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we'll rise up, reach up one last time. And then exhale, hinge from the hips, bend through the knees, fold forward. Our palms will plant down onto the mat. Option here to walk, step, or hop to the back of our mat. Taking an inhale through plank. And then on the exhale, our knees will come down onto the mat, tops of the feet to plant down, big toe mounds to touch, knees as wide as it feels comfortable, and bringing our sit bones back towards our heels. Option if you have a block handy, maybe bringing it underneath the forehead, just giving us some space and length here. Maybe bringing the block underneath our sit bone if we find that our heels are really elevated today. And just using it to allow something for our hips to ground in towards. You might rock the forehead from side to side, adding a little bit of a massage in the body here. And then on the inhale, feeling the low back and the low belly expand. And on the exhale, as it travels all the way down the spine. On the inhale, slowly walking the palms back in towards the body. Bringing the knees together. And then we'll shift onto one side of the hips, extending the legs out in front of the body. And then we'll bend through the knees, planting the soles of the feet down onto the mat. And then we'll come all the way to lie on our backs, feet to the outer edges of the mat. And maybe the palms come beside the body facing up, or the palms can rest on top of the belly. Maybe we begin to observe our breath, feeling the belly rise and fall in towards the palms of our hands. Observing if anything has changed through our practice. Maybe it has, and maybe it hasn't, and that's okay. Just allowing ourselves this moment of stillness to thank ourselves for showing up in our practice. An option to stay here as long as it feels comfortable in the body. If you're ready to end our practice, we'll start to find some movement, wiggling through the fingers and the toes, circling out through the wrists and the ankles, maybe even nodding the head from side to side. And then we'll reach our right arm up and overhead, bend through the knees, plant the soles of the feet down onto our mat, and we'll roll over onto our right side, bringing our right ear onto our bicep, resting it here. Taking a moment. And then we'll use the hands to guide us up into any comfortable seat, keeping our eye gaze soft. And we'll bring our hands together at heart center, feeling this length through the spine. And then tucking the chin in towards the chest. We'll take an inhale and an exhale. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through practice today. It was an honor and a privilege. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.